First of all, welcome to the studio of Invest for Sight, media partner for Gaidarovskom Forum, which we all attend here in the Academy of National Economy and Public Administration. And I wonder if you could share some views with our audience regarding the matters pertaining to the economic development of many countries, and especially maybe Russia. Well, I refer in this regard to digitalization and green economy, sustainable development. Does Russia have, in your opinion, much to do with these things? And do they help? Will they help? Have they helped us at all?
Of course, of course. Russia is a huge country. Of course, it's much greener than any other country in the world. Actually, you have a huge forest. So, in terms of green forest coverage, everybody envies you. But Russia can do a lot more things to do for not just for contribution to the global environment or climate change, but for the promotion of new industry in Russia. Because I'm always saying this, there are two schools of thinking regarding green or climate or sustainable development issues. Some people think it as a cost, and they think, oh, it's a burden, and why should I bother to waste my money? Some people think like that. It's a one school of thinking. The other school of thinking is they are looking at this green social development as new opportunity for new market, new service, new industry. So there are clearly two different thinking. So far, I believe Russia not yet realized that this can be a new industry for Russia. Russia can be a competitive country if you decide to do so, because Russia has all kinds of very high level of scientific excellence, science research. You are ahead of any other country in rocket science and all this missile science, and also many other scientific fields. Russia is a leader. You have a huge the volume of scientists, highest level in the world. If these scientists join together to push for innovations for green economy, social development, climate change, then you can create a new service, new market, new industry. So it depends on how you look at it. So of course, Russia can do a lot for your own industry, and at the same time contribute to stopping or combating climate crisis.
The problem is, in this country, we face brain drain. Brain drain.
Brain drain.
People are moving elsewhere. How shall we address this problem? Or should we address this problem?
Okay. I think maybe I'm too naive to say this, but in some cases, why brain draining is happening? It's because they are going somewhere else, because maybe in Russia they don't find demands for their talents. So if you are introduce a new policy for green policy, environmental policy, or social policy that strengthen the investment in people and the society and the environment, it will create a new opportunity for the young generation to find more jobs, diversifying their job opportunity. Then they will not go away. They will stay here. So, that depends. But many people think that, it's a matter of we have a limited financial resources, so how can you do it? But for a country like Russia, I think you're already a quite highly developed country compared to any other developing country. You have, I think, enough sufficient capacity to produce policies, regulations, and standards that can strengthen and support this kind of a new direction. Then you will create a new job opportunity. If you are only thinking about conventional and traditional sector industry, oil and gas, and all those traditional sector, then there is no more opportunity for creating new jobs there. It's already all developed. So no more new opportunity for job creation. So you have to look for where you can create a new job opportunity. So if you can strengthen, for example, if you introduce a strong, now I know that President Putin mentioned about green growth in 2018. And so if your president introduced a strong policies, for example, of garbage waste recycling and the prohibition of landfill and support incineration of waste for recovery of energy, then new investment for incineration will happen. Then new job will happen. So new opportunity will happen. So without such kind of a stronger regulation and standard, new job and opportunity will not happen. So, but many governments are afraid of introducing new regulations. They think this is a kind of burden and limitations on economic activity. But in fact, if you press certain regulation, it creates new investment and new opportunities.
So do you mean that introducing new regulations and new laws is a most efficient way to solve the problems of environmental pollution, of waste, garbage, and all those problems that many countries, including this country, are confronting these days?
Sure.
So it's just a political will of the authorities and legislators.
Not only just political will, but also the people have to support it. In other words, as I mentioned about waste incineration, so waste to energy, this is a new trend. In Korea, we are producing over the 4% of our total energy coming from waste. Can you believe? 4% of total energy consumption coming from waste. And we have more than 400 incinerators. And do you know how much Koreans are paying for it? We are paying more than $200 per ton of garbage to be incinerated. $200 per ton. So Koreans are paying for it, but we are recovering 4% of energy from waste. And also Korea, we have a 60% of recycling ratio, one of the highest in the world. So we recycle 60% of our garbage, recycled back and used again.
And what do you do with the remaining 40%?
Oh, incineration. So the 40% incineration, some of them still go to landfill, but we are going to close down the landfill sooner or later. So it will be turned into source of energy. So what I'm saying is, this is an example of creating new industry. If you don't introduce this kind of regulation, there's no chance of creating new industry. But there's a condition. The people should be willing to pay the price for it. So Korean people are paying for our garbage. Whenever I throw out my garbage, then I should be willing to pay for it. So, in other words, not only just garbage, energy or clean energy, whatever, people should be not just blaming politicians. People should be willing to pay for clean energy. Then politicians will do it. The reason politicians are not doing this is because politicians are afraid. Or people might be revolting. They will say, oh, I don't want to pay for higher price. Why should I pay for higher price? Then politicians cannot do it. It happened in Chile. It happened in France. They did yellow jacket. They demonstrate against tax on energy, right? So if there's no support from the people, politicians cannot do it. So you cannot just blame the politicians, but this shows that there's the social consensus. We call it social engineering, social innovation. So we should understand. Then many people think, oh, it's very difficult. It sounds very difficult, right? Is there any example? Yes, there are examples. Your neighbors, Nordic country, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. These are the classical, they are the most successful, best practice country for social development. In Norway, those countries, yes, they are paying more than $200 per garbage. Their heating, or residential heating, most of them coming from garbage. They are not burning gas or oil. They are burning their garbage for residential heating. So they're already doing it. Then why you cannot do it? Russia can do it. Your neighbors are already doing it.
Right, we shall follow the trade. You mentioned creating new opportunities, new jobs and new industries. What would you think about Russian agriculture? I mean, the country was having problems with supporting itself with food production for decades. Then all of a sudden, over just maybe 5 years, 6 years, it turned into a major producer and exporter of food all around the world. Do you think that's a way to solve many problems, to offer new technologies, to offer new jobs?
Yes, I think
Is it a way for us to follow? Or shall we abandon it and maybe
Well,
agriculture is no longer that vital and that important? Maybe it's not efficient enough?
I think it's a matter of investing as well in the agriculture. It also depends. Even in agricultural product, there are very different quality of agricultural product, like organic products, for example. As I believe, many of the agricultural products from Russia is free from pesticide. Many of them can be very organic. Then compared to Europe or Japan and Korea, we are using a lot of pesticides, maybe highest in the world. But you can produce organic products. There are more global demands for organic products. So you can focus on how can you differentiate the higher quality of your agricultural products. Then you can have a higher value. So that's just this kind of investment strategy. So not only just copying conventional mass quantity, but you can think about quality.
Right. And in general, speaking about Russia's involvement in global economic processes and Russia's participation in global initiatives to combat climate change and pollution and things like that, do you think our country is efficient in doing so? Is it active? Is it a valuable participant of all those positive developments?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Russia has been actually like in the case of Kyoto Protocol, in the case of Paris Climate Agreement, Russia made a very critical decision of providing support for even Kyoto and Paris. So Russia in the end made a final decision of supporting global consensus. It was very positive and global community is appreciating it. But I think Russia can be more proactive and not just a follower. Russia can be a leader of this kind of global trends for decarbonization, and then send a very strong message for the other countries around the world, like many other countries like China, India. You have a very strong influence, Brazil and all these countries, BRICS countries. So this will send a very strong signal while the United States is falling behind and denying everything. But if Russia is taking a more proactive role, then I think you can improve your global leadership, and at the same time, not just for global leadership, but at the same time, your own domestic industry, a new industry can be created, like electric car and solar cell. Look at the case of China. China is a #1 leader of electric bus exporter. China is a #1 exporter. They export electric bus to Germany, to US, to Korea, and to UK. So this is an example of a new industry. So I hope that Russia, there's no reason Russia cannot do it. You have better scientific knowledge and expertise. Simply you're not utilizing them. So this climate change will open up a new opportunity for you, so many scientists, to contribute and create a new industry. This is my personal view.
Thank you very much. Okay. We will try to do our best to follow your very good advice.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you.